work for a living. Here in the Midwest, we bow to no man, not even the king of Saudi Arabia. Hard-earned money, and Mr. President, you can keep the change. Keep the change. Keep the change. Keep the change.
Keep the change.
That's right. That's exactly why I filed a bill called No More Bailouts. These guys must bail out the sweethearts on Wall Street and all the buddies of the Secretary of Treasury. It's time for us to keep more of our own money and rebuild our economy from the ground up and not the government down. It's got to go from you to your neighbor, to your family, to where you work, all the way to Washington, D.C. We need some help up there. You can give us. God bless each and every one of you. God bless America.
Joining us that are active duty military or that are retired veterans. Boston Tea Party was held on December 16, 1773. That government had overreached in taxing colonials for tea, even though they were not represented in Parliament. Today, our own government is once again overreaching, this time by passing a $789 billion spending bill that does not stimulate the economy with money we do not have. They've passed the largest budget
and not the government will prevail over hardship. It is the spirit of liberty and not the government that will return our country to greatness. And today, we have an opportunity to stand up for liberty. But we can't just stand up today and once every 4 years. We stand up for liberty every single day. For lower taxes.
Mom, it's not on. You have to record it. It's on. No, it is.
The future. Because the spirit of liberty deserves no less. And my friends, that's change we can all hope for. Thank you all very much.
All right, our very next speaker.
It's a thinly veiled excuse to explode government spending without any real economic effect. I want to talk to you today about just one part of that bill. It's only $50 million of that bill, which in the scheme of things is nearly nothing, since government spending is no longer measured in millions or even billions, but now must approach $1 trillion before many of our elected officials even bat an eye. Very deep within that nearly $1 trillion so-called stimulus bill is $50 million to fight internet crimes against children. Now I stand before you as a prosecutor. I stand before you as a prosecutor who helped start one of the first cybercrime units in the state of Missouri. I stand before you as someone who passionately believes deep within his core that there are few criminals more evil than those who use the World Wide Web to prey on our children. But I also stand before you to say that this $50 million for fighting cybercrime has no business being in a so-called stimulus bill. Why? Which is something government must do and something I've dedicated my career to doing, is not economic stimulus. Keeping our children safe as they surf the web is the right thing to do. It's the moral thing to do, but it's not something that will stimulate the economy. It belongs in a crime bill, not in a so-called economic stimulus bill. Fighting cybercrime is just one example of why the entire so-called stimulus bill was a giant mistake. Far too much of that stimulus bill has nothing to do with stimulating our economy. It's really about growing government to where there's no turning back from remaking the United States into a welfare state. Now, lest you think that the spending spree in the stimulus bill is limited to police, let me give you another example. It shouldn't surprise many of you that the criminal defense lawyers won't be outdone by police and prosecutors. The Missouri Public Defender System compiled its wish list to spend millions of dollars of this so-called stimulus money. And you know what? Those millions of dollars weren't enough. Can you believe that these government-paid criminal defense lawyers were told by our Missouri legislature to spend more? Let me quote from a news story about that event. Directors of the Missouri State Public Defender System were shocked when leaders of the State House Budget Committee asked the Public Defender System to submit a wish list for stimulus money. It was an even bigger shock when the House leaders pulled back, asking for more items. They said, "This isn't very much," said Kathy Kelly, Deputy Director for the system. So let's get this straight. The bureaucrats who run the public defender system design their wish list, and then the elected representatives tell them, no, you're not spending enough. You need to spend more tax money. Ladies and gentlemen, when our elected officials beg government bureaucrats to spend more tax money, something has gone seriously wrong. Alice in Wonderland were running things. You might remember what she said in Alice in Wonderland. If I had a world of my own, everything would be nonsense. Nothing would be what it is because everything would be what it isn't. And contrary-wise, what is, it wouldn't be. And what wouldn't be, it would. You see? Today, our government, using our tax dollars, has descended into Alice's world of nonsense. By the so-called mainstream media. Yep. Today's Kansas City Star about this very event. Maybe you read it. They wrote about this tax day tea party in which you're participating, and here's what they said. They said, all of you who are here are not really part of the grassroots movement. They said you should be thankful for, and I quote, you should be thankful for today's responsible leadership. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you that if what is happening today in our government meets the Kansas City Star's test for responsible leadership, it's the Star and not all of you who are way, way off target. Thomas Jefferson understood this. That government is best that governs least. That bigger government somehow makes for better government. That somehow spending more is the only reasonable decision for a government already burdened by crushing debt. That government bureaucrats need to be prodded, goaded, and ordered to spend more, not managed and monitored by elected officials so they spend less. It's nonsense, but it's the kind of nonsense that can do lasting damage to a great nation. We will restore sanity to our government only